My name is Counihan. I'm a sculptor from Ireland. I live in County Kilkenny in Ireland, and most of my work as an artist centres around place. And place is very different from landscape. Place is imbued with human existence and memory, and we all have a place that's special for us in the world. And I got the idea reading Ivan Doig's memoir, This House of Sky, where he talks about growing up as a young man, young boy really, through into manhood in northern Montana, and how important the sky was to him, how he felt his own youth expanding with the sky. And there's another lovely phrase by the Montana writer Norman MacLean, where he talks about going out at night and walking not under the stars but among them. And I really liked that idea, so I wanted to make a work among the trees that rose up. And I think the place needs, it's all vertical, it's all these trees going up. So I felt I needed to make a piece that wasn't overwhelmed by that verticality and that rose with them. So that's really what I'm trying to do. It's based on a house form, obviously, House of Sky. It's quite small, 5 feet by 8 feet, but it's going to be coated in mirror finished stainless steel. So my hope is that it will be in here in this clearing, and that I've aligned it so that it will catch as much of the sky as possible where the sun doesn't shine. So it will hopefully reflect clouds moving across it all the time. That's what I hope for. And then obviously as you move around the site in different angles, you will see the trees and you know, the wind moving through the trees. It'll be constantly active. That's what I hope for. I'm going to raise it hopefully 30 feet in the air, somewhere between 25 and 30 feet. And then it's going to be on these 4 poles here, which were specially felled for the project. And I'm going to blacken them in waste oil, because the piece is not just representative of kind of the manifest destiny of the man moving west. I wanted it, because it's stainless steel, it doesn't belong in this environment. All the other works that the artists are making relate to nature. Mine relates to nature, but in a different way, because I wanted to show how our technological advancements are less and less rooted to the place that we live on, the earth. So the 4 posts I'm going to coat in waste oil, which obviously reflects our addiction to petroleum products. And coming in here as a sculptor to find a place to put the work, because it is so heavily wooded. And if you're going to make a sculpture park, you really need to kind of make clearances so that people can kind of access the work. I chose this particular site because it's got the most open vista of sky, and I was going to place the work here initially, right in line, but that's straight in line with the avenue coming up, and it's less intimate. So now I've cut down 2 trees, and that felt like a rather selfish decision initially. I was troubled by doing it, but now that I'm going to incorporate them into the piece and the landscaping, I don't feel so bad about that. But you know, cutting a tree down to make your work it does feel like a selfish thing to do. Hopefully we'll transform the place, and that act will seem worthy. I hope to place the work in here within the clearing that I've made by cutting down those trees. So there'll be an arc of trees in a circle, and not in the center, but the work will dominate that clearing, and it'll allow people to walk around it and view the reflections from all sides. That's what I hope to achieve. When we spoke last time, we were in the wood. I was really enjoying it, but I've spent really little time in the woods since then, and I'm paying the price, I suppose, in some ways, of having chosen industrial archaeology as the way to go, because it's really complicated what we're trying to do in the frame, and in the shots we're working, we may not be fully equipped to do it, so it's gone much slower than anticipated. And tomorrow we're actually going to go down to Missoula with the piece and put it into a machine shop to complete the work. And then what we've done today, at last, the steel only came yesterday for the piece. It's mirror finished, it looks magnificent. I mean, it looks like you're looking at sky. We borrowed a forklift and we lifted it up to the height we're going to do it. And I decided then to change the height of the piece. You don't know these things until you're actually here. So when I physically saw it, I decided to cut these 4 feet shorter. I'm also afraid of wind. The thing is so high, and apparently, I'm not a Montana native, but it's apparently a really, really windy place. So the closer this is to the ground, I'm reducing it by 4 feet, the less it is likely to twist and contort in the wind or to fall. So that's keeping my fingers crossed on that one. There is the challenge in anything. I didn't know the sculpture park when I came here. I didn't know the resources that were here. So you come here with a blank canvas, and people say, yes, we can make this, we will make it, and we have a budget. And you come, and then you have to negotiate all these different challenges, and they're unexpected. And nobody really knows how we're going to address them, because you're kind of one step at a time. And we've taken a great step, and then we've had a little stagger, then we've taken another step, and then we've taken a little stagger. And right now, I think we're getting ready to walk a bit more boldly and have the place finished. I would hope have the piece finished within 4 days. And then when the piece is ready, we'll bring it. I don't want anything to touch it, because it is really, the surface is so delicate and it's like glass that we just want to lift it up and drop it with the crane onto the tower. And that should be, well, I'm going to hold my breath until then, you know. I hope that that's the moment. So the house is finally up, and I'm absolutely delighted with it. It looks up in the sky there, very much as I imagined it when I first read Ivan Doig's book last June. I had this image of the small, gleaming little house form up against the trees, well actually ideally up against the sky. But here in the woods it's doing things I hadn't imagined it would, with the reflections of the surrounding trees rippling through it. And then there's something that I hadn't anticipated. I was going to weld the forms. Due to time constraints and budget constraints, we ended up mechanically fixing it, which was, in some sense, it was a compromise. But it has provided all kinds of other surprises I hadn't anticipated. Because when the wind moves through the trees here, it's also moving underneath the sheet, and it's causing it to ripple and to billow, which is causing the form to look like it's distorting. But it's not. It's still within its rectangular form, but it looks like it. So it becomes visually an extremely interesting and complex piece. So I'm delighted with that, and I'm really excited watching people come, because the piece is alive from every single angle you look at it. Everywhere you look, it's active, and every day there'll be no moment that it'll ever be the same. So it's the first one I've made, and I think I'll be making a few more of these. So I'm very, very happy with it, and I hope that everybody else here who helped to bring it into being and who will live with it long after we're gone will enjoy it for years as well.